Hello, good afternoon. I'm Opeyemi. Thank you for joining me on my program. Today we're going to be talking about passive income. I'm going to have Ayoola with me today. Opeyemi Ayoola is the head of stockbroking operations in Capital Bancorp PLC. She has over 12 years experience in the financial services industry. She has had diverse experience in the industry and that spans over operations, stockbroking. Currently, she works in Capital Bancorp PLC, as I said. Opeyemi is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and she's also an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. And she's an authorized dealing clerk of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Opeyemi is a counselor and she's a go-getter. So we're going to be talking today about income earning activities. Now, the general school of thought is that several streams of income is the best way to go. According to Tom Curley, we should create wealth like the rich by having multiple streams of income. In the coming weeks, we'll be bringing experts to talk about the different types of income that we as small business owners can have. Manoj Arora figured that there were at least 7 different streams of income. And these are end income, these are end income, money pending. Opeyemi, thank you very much for joining me. It's nice to have you.
Thank you very much, Nora.
I've done your... Okay, thank you. And I'd introduced you before you joined, but we'll continue to have an introduction. No, it's not a problem. So now we're talking about end income. End income is what you earn by doing something or by spending your time, e.g. the money you make in your job, the salary you get by working for someone else. Now, this is where your quality of life will suffer the most, according to Manoj Arora, because you will be trading your time for money. In most cases, jobs will pay you just enough to stay over broke. So the definition of job, J-O-B, means just over broke. Now, the reason why most people are not able to think beyond earning money through a job is because job will provide you with a relatively comfortable zone. Unfortunately, this comfort zone will become your biggest enemy and will keep you away from leading an extraordinary life. You will spend the maximum time of your life in this income stream and still will never have enough to lead a truly wealthy life. According to the rat race to financial freedom, comfort is the biggest trap, and coming out of comfort zone, your biggest enemy. Now, the second stream of income is the profit income. Money that you earn by selling something for more than it costs you to make, e.g. businesses selling their goods at profit, whether at the retail or wholesale level, as distributors or manufacturers, or in the service industry. You need to be an entrepreneur for earning profits. You might need huge investment, or you could start a small business for profit with small investments too. But this will also take away a lot of your time, at least in the initial stages. Until you learn to manage it really well and be able to make it turn out its own revenue. Entrepreneurship is a different kind of mindset and risk-taking capability. Most of the people who are in jobs and are used to the end income want to move to this category. Yes, they want to become, everybody wants to become an entrepreneur at some stage of their career or life, but find it difficult to make the move, primarily because of lack of guts. It needs a lot of courage for you to run a business, especially a small business. And of course, it has its own risk too. Most often, this lack of courage is justified because of the family constraints and needs. To be an entrepreneur and start earning profit, you will need to identify a product or a service that you want to sell, then sell and manage it well. Manage your clients equally well, and for most people, end income and profit income are the most viable means to earn serious money. But they often tend to forget that there are five other equally viable and serious streams of wealth generation. Now we come to passive income. Passive income examples are interest income. Interest income is money you get as a result of lending your money to someone else to use, e.g., putting it in the bank, lending it to the government in the form of buying treasury bills, etc. Many doubt the seriousness of wealth interest income. They doubt the seriousness of wealth interest income can generate. But when combined with the power of compounding and the fact that this is a true passive income with least amount of risk, this can beat any of the first two sources of income generations hands down. The other one is the dividend income. This income gets even better than interest income. It is equally passive, and not only that, it also makes you a shareholder of a company. That is the money you get as a return on shares of a company you own. For example, the dividend that most companies announce at the year end. And the better this stream of income sounds, the more ignored and neglected is this source of income. If you invest smartly on ex-dividend rates of good blue chip company, you can far exceed the returns from dividend income than what you get from interest income, since you are also a party to the capital gains that the share price goes to. Now, these are the two areas we'll talk about today: the interest income and the dividend income. As I had said earlier, Mrs. Opeyemi Ayoola is the head of stockbroking operations in Capital Bancorp PLC. She has over 12 years experience in the financial services industry. She has had diverse experience in the industry and has brought so many innovations to the operations of stockbroking since she joined the company. Opeyemi is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and also an associate of the associate member of the Chartered Institute of Stock Brokers and an authorized dealing clerk of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Thank you, madam, for coming. So let's hear it for Opeyemi Ayoola. So let us talk about passive income. It is a topic that I am very, very much interested in, and in which, because of the pandemic, that has ensured that a lot of small businesses are struggling. There is a need to talk about having other forms of income apart from your regular profit from your businesses, and also maybe the money that you earn by working. And a lot of jobs are not even stable right now. So I'll give examples of different billionaires who have made it in because they have several streams of income. You have the Bill Gates of this world, you have the Warren Buffett, but his income is from capital gain and dividends. You have the Bill Gates, his profit income and royalty income streams. So we want to be like Dangote. And having different streams of income is the way to go. So let's talk come in form of the stock market and the treasury bills and all the other areas of dividend income that we can talk about, because really the pandemic is biting very, very hard. So welcome, madam. Let's hear it for Opeyemi Ayoola.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, Mrs. Feyikemi. It's nice having me. I'm honored to be on your program. And I want to say
we're very happy
very good evening
for you to be
all
here.
of our viewers at this time. Well, of course, when we talk about passive, of course, something that is passive is something that is by the side, that you are not very active with, and it's giving you some things on the side. And of course, passive income, something that you can do, that you are not so active, is not disturbing your major stream of income, is not disturbing your job, but then you are getting something tangible from it. And as I speak, there are lots of people that are even getting much more than their salary or their income on a daily basis than on this passive income that we want to talk about, than even their salary that they earn. And of course, if you don't have passive income as a business person, you have not started. Just like my host talked about Bill Gates, talked about Warren Buffett, these are the fathers of passive income. These are the people that actually were, and their life are into passive income. They know how to use their days to get incomes. And then this afternoon or this evening, we'll be talking about the stock market and some other sweeteners that surround it. Of course, what is stock market? This is a market wherein the market of dealing in shares, the market of raising funds, the market of getting dividends, and the likes, income through other means, investing in the business of other people. For example, let me cite the example of you as an individual. You are not, you don't work with Zenith Bank, but then you earn income from Zenith Bank because you are an investor in Zenith Bank. You bought shares of Zenith Bank shares, and the Zenith Bank shares that you bought, their shares, number one, gives you an income in terms of dividend. And of course, at some point, it also gives you some income in terms of capital gains. Because, for example, if someone that bought Zenith Bank shares at the rate of 5 naira or at the rate of 10 naira and is selling at this time, can you imagine how much income such a person might have gained when he's selling at the rate of 16 naira something, at the rate of 17 naira? Not even looking at the dividend that might have accrued to you in the past years. That the income, and it does not affect the job that you are doing. You are doing on a day-to-day, So, such, you just receive bank account. Maybe by April of every year, you receive an alert from Zenith Bank. And maybe in August or September, you receive another alert of an interim dividend. And maybe whenever you want to sell again, you discover that you are higher from the cost that you said in it. Probably you are double of what you use in investing in it. With that, we are talking about passive income. With that does not even affect what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. People around you might not know how wealthy you are when you have this. It doesn't show, because sometimes if you have houses, maybe you have houses or you have some of these things, people might be looking at you. You have cars, and people are looking at you and they're saying, oh, this person is wealthy. But then sometimes people don't know your worth. And it makes you to be somehow hidden, somehow. People will not know your worth. So some people that needs to be chasing you might not be chasing you. You are a silent millionaire, you are a silent billionaire with this passive income we are talking about. And you see, so many advantages are associated with this passive income. Number one, like the capital gain that we talk about, is one of the advantages. The dividend income that comes, that accrues to you on a yearly basis, is one of the advantages. Most of this passive income, most of these shares, when you buy those shares, when they are in your account, you can use them as collaterals for loan. Peradventure, you are a business owner and you are in need of cash, you are in need of money, maybe a running capital, or even something, a capital intensive project that you want to embark on, and you don't have any collateral to use. This passive income collateral is one of the things that you can use because you have those shares there. And then when you bring it, when you take it to your finance house or your bank, they easily, as a matter of fact, they will give you, because it's a current asset in your account. It can be turned to cash easily. So it's easier for them to give you loan based on that. So you can use it as collateral. And it's another way of diversifying your income, your investment. You are not just eating up all what you have. It's a form of savings for you. It's a long-term investment that you can look up to in the future, that you can even use as your children can use you can use as inheritance, even for your children. You can distribute to them. You know, sometimes some people have houses that you discover that even these days, lots of people are not able to pay their rent and the lights. But when you buy into stocks with good fundamentals, you discover that your dividend comes in regularly, you enjoy that, and then ultimately it is there for you on the long-term basis. So those are so many benefits that you get in investing into passive income. Let me just stop
Okay.
there so that I will allow my host to.
I know you're very passionate about it, so it's very okay. I'd like to know what are the different offerings that one can get from this stock exchange. I know about shares, but are there other things that one can maybe buy or whatever the term is from the stock exchange? And what other
Okay,
um, like the treasury bills
products.
and all those things. Can you let us know what areas one can invest in and
Yes.
what
Well,
products one can invest in? Then also, what are the interest rates? Because that is the bottom line. It's not about just investments. What interest rate are we talking about?
Well, well, I would like to let us know the various investment options that are available to us on the market. Well, apart from the shares that may the zenith of this world, the GTB, the Dangote Cement, the Nestle, those are the equity shares that people can invest in. Apart from those ones, there are also bonds that people can invest in. You have the federal government bonds, you have the corporate bonds. You see, so many of these companies that also have their shares, some of them also too have, they also raise money through bonds. So some of them, those are the ones that we call corporate bonds. So those are the bonds that you see some of these companies also float. So one can also invest in some of those bonds. But then,
Mm,
of course, before you go into any of those ones, it's always good to get an advice from your stockbroker to let you know which ones are the best for you at a particular time. And of course, we have,
mm,
just like I said, the federal government bonds, and there is another one that is open to retail investors, even though some wholesale investors also to come into it. We call it federal government savings bond. And what federal government was looking at, why they decided to put up this offering, is that they want something that gives investors a little bit more than the savings account that they have.
mm,
So that's why we have that. And that is usually issued on a monthly basis. Even though during the pandemic, we had a break, a little break from the period of April to till August. but it reopened in the month of August. So on a monthly basis, the first full week of every month, the federal government savings bond is usually up. So anyone that wants to invest in federal government savings bond, there is opportunity for that. So the federal government savings bond offers you the opportunity of getting your interest, which is called coupon, on a quarterly basis. Whereas the FDN savings bond, the normal FDN savings federal government bond, usually gives you coupon on a 6 monthly basis. So that's, and then the savings bond is also between 2 to 3 years. So it's a short-term bond, while the other federal government bond is a longer tenured bond, which is about 5 years, beginning from 5 years to 10 years to 20 years. So, but then, because of the pandemic and then the low interest rate, well, the rate generally has actually come down, but usually it's on a monthly basis when those bonds come out. That is usually when we know the exact rate that the government will put on them at each particular time. So I cannot give you the specific rate that the government, but the last one was for the 2-year tenor, it was around 3.6, while the 3-year tenor was around 4.6. So that was what it was.
Is it the is it 3.6 per year or 3.6 for the 3 years?
Per annum. It's per annum. Per annum. It's per annum.
So
usually for the period of 1 year.
In your experience, what's the best type of bond or stock or investment to make in the stock market?
Well, usually, well, there is no, it depends. Usually, when we want to advise someone to go into the market, sometimes we look at so many things. We look at your age, we look at your buyers. Some people are averse to banking, some people are averse to some other, some people are averse to some other risk. So we look at your risk appetite also. So that determines, we cannot just give you a general advice. But then, usually when you come to us, we do a profiling of each and every one, an individual. For example, for a younger person, we will advise, because a younger person can still take can still go into a riskier investment. So we can advise a younger person to do a mix of more of equities, which are the GTB, the Zenith, the Dangote Cement, the Nestle, and everything, than the bond. While we will advise somebody that is older, somebody that is a little aged, to go into a tenured investment, which are the bonds, which are fixed income. We call them fixed income securities. Those ones are not determined by the income, that when the rate is 3% per annum, the 3% doesn't change till the end of the tenure, till the end of the bond, till the duration of the bond. If the bond is for 10 years, you will get your 3% per annum for that 10 years, and then your initial investment, which is your capital, will also
and
be
it's guaranteed. And it's guaranteed. It's not going to go lower.
It is guaranteed.
Okay,
well,
so what's
the only
list?
reason why you can, okay, the only area where you can look at it as sometimes maybe it goes lower or goes up is when you want to trade it. Maybe you are in need of money, because it's also tradable, just like equity is also tradable. So when you want to trade on it, it is the ruling market rate that you can get it on. So you can get it, you can get the price, get a higher yield or a higher price or a lower price. So the price also fluctuates depending on the market forces.
Okay.
Also,
I have two questions here, and they are both related, really. From AB, she said, how much is the minimum amount to invest? And from Kolaole John Ayoola, what is the minimum amount to invest? So it's the same question. So how much is the minimum to invest, really?
Well,
then I'll create a scenario about myself. So Please answer those questions first.
Okay, for federal government savings bond, well, the minimum is 5,000 naira. So, but then it depends on how much you want. That's what determines what you get. And then for the normal equities, well, for capital banker, if you are investing, if you are going on a banker e-trade, which is an online account and platform, well, you can open with just 1,000 naira. And of course, it's just that one is just a commitment to know that you are serious about what you want to do. Of course, for somebody that is coming into the investment, you want to buy your shares, you want to buy this, the more you put in, the more you get from it. So I tell you that if you put a 10 naira, you get the equivalent of what you put into it. And when you put in 1,000,000, of course, you know that when there is a capital gain, definitely you get as much as you put in. So I advise that you put in more, usually, even though the entry point might not be as much, but when you put in more, you get more. And of course, for the federal government savings bond, the rate, of course, the rate will be applied on your capital, on how much you put in. So the minimum might be so low, but then it's better if you can put in more. And of course, you can do it from time to time on a monthly basis.
What about equity? What about equity? What's the minimum you can put on equity?
Well, I actually mentioned equity as well. Just like I said, if you are coming on board with Capital Banker PLC, coming online on our online platform that is called Banker E-Trade, if you are registering on that platform, you can come in with as low as 1,000 naira. And as you come in, that shows that you are committed, that you want to be our client. And with that, when we onboard you, you can then put in any amount that you want us to buy any shares you desire with. So with any amount, you can come in. So things is as low as 1,000 naira.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to create a scenario. Let's say one of my clients is has like 1,000,000 naira, but is very risk averse. Very risk averse. She's like 40 years old. So what type of investment will you advise her to make in the stock market?
Well, the first thing is that number one, the person is still young, even though, well, young, middle age. Well, if I can convince the person to go into a stocks with good fundamentals, that gives dividend. We have stocks with good fundamentals that give dividend regularly, that gives dividend twice a year. We have stocks like that.
So, like with the FJ bonds, the treasury bills, you've not told us anything about the treasury bills.
I'm still coming to that.
Oh, okay.
Those are the bonds. But for the equities, we have the bonds, we have the fixed income securities. We have the equities, we have the fixed income securities, which are the bonds in the category of the bonds, in the category of the fixed income securities. For somebody like that, if I can convince the person to go into equity, which are the ones that are traded on the Zenith, the GTB, the Dangote Cement, the MTN, the custodian, those stocks that we are sure that they give good dividend on a yearly basis. Even though the companies are, they are affected by economy activities, the economy, how well the economy is run also affects them. But over the years, sometimes with some experience, some companies that are properly run, that have good corporate governance, and they regularly pay dividend, either once a year or twice a year. And they are in active demand most times. So if such a person can divide, you can divide the fund into two. Invest in that and also go into fixed income security. You are risk averse, yes. You can go into fixed income security that gives you income on a six month basis. Of course, if the income is annual. of course, the higher your risk, the higher your return. So if you're not willing to give to risk your funds, you might not get as much return as you might want. But then, if you are the so risk averse, I don't want to lose my money. If my money should decrease like this, I will fall sick. I will feel like this. It's better to just go into fixed income investment. And just like you said, treasury bill is another one. Treasury bill, but the only major issue that we have with treasury bills now, government issued treasury bills now, is that the rates are quite low. For 91 days, we have 1.3 or thereabout. That was the last one. For 182 days, 1.8 or thereabout. And for 1 year, you have less than 4%. So sometimes if somebody is actually looking at getting something, a passive income indeed, you might not want to look at treasury bill for now. Even though there was a time treasury bill was given as high as 18% per annum. For 182 days, 15%, 12%, as high as that. Even 90 days, 91 days was given even as high as 9%, 10% at some point. But then, at the time we are in now, time do change. At the time we are in now, that is what we have. That is what is obtainable. So if someone is looking at that, one might feel, why? Oh, I don't want to do this. But then for a risk-averse person, treasury bill is still not a bad idea. If you want to put your money in there for 1 year, 3.6, 3.5, well, you are not risking anything. So you just get your interest. And usually treasury bill gives you upfront interest. That's the other advantage of treasury bill. You get an upfront interest on that. So if you are such a person, we can either do the treasury bill or go into the federal government savings bond that we're talking about. And that one is issued on a monthly basis. Government issued that. By next week now, there should be another issue of the federal government savings bond. And the federal government, the actual federal government bond that pays its coupon on a six-month basis has its calendar. And there are revisions, we have the calendar for it. And for anyone that actually wants us to actually alert them when there is any reopening of that, or if you want us to buy from you from the market, because they are also traded on the market, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as well. We can as well look for the ones with good yield. But the only thing now is that the yields are not very attractive. But then it's still, for a risk-averse person, it's still the way to go.
Oh, okay. Thank you, madam. I'm wondering, what's the difference between the equity market and private placement? I hear private placement. What's that?
Okay. Usually private placement is, for example, for like your company now, your organization, you want to raise funds, and then you're looking out for individuals to invest in your company. So we can raise funds like that. Those are some of the things that Capital Bancorp do for our clients. We raise funds for our clients through private placement and through public offering. We have private placement, we have public offering. Public offering are the ones that are open to the general public. Usually private placement are not usually open to everybody. Sometimes it has some limitations. It can tell you, for some private placement, we can tell you that you must have a minimum of 10 million, a minimum of 10 billion for you to be a part of it. And it might be an enclosed set of people that are investing in that company. So, and it's not public, and it's not listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It's not tradable. It's not open to the public. Those are some of the differences between private placement and public offerings. Public offerings are open to everybody.
To everybody. Okay, thank you so very much. In
Okay.
case we want to reach out to you or any of our people who have listened to this program, how do we get in touch with you?
Okay. My, well, you can reach out to Capital Bancorp PLC on
Okay.
www.capitalbancorpgroup.com.
Okay.
You can reach out to us on our Facebook page, Capital Bancorp PLC, on our Instagram page, on our YouTube page, and also you can also reach out to us on info@capitalbancorpgroup.com. My email address is oayola@capitalbancorpgroup.com. If you want to reach out to me personally, but if you want to reach out to us as a company, you can reach out to us as an organization. But then if you want to reach out to me specifically as a person to advise, maybe to advise me, of course, I'll be advising you under the umbrella of Capital Bancorp PLC. So you can
Can we?
always
Do you
reach
have a
out to me
WhatsApp
to help.
number or something? Is that
Oh,
WhatsApp
okay.
number?
Okay. Our WhatsApp number is 08039446861 for Capital Bancorp. 08039446861. When you send us WhatsApp, you can always reach us on that. And you can also reach me personally on 08035726724. On both platforms, I will always be available to answer your requests.
Okay. Thank you so much. So if I want to invest and I reach out, will I be given like an account officer, or who do I relate with, or just generally everybody? Am I going to be
No. Oh,
allocated
yes.
to or assigned to an account officer who I can call at
Yes.
12 midnight if I see that GTB shares are
Yeah,
going down?
exactly. Yes. Usually, when you want to open an account with us, we either you go online to onboard. So when you do that, we open your account and we assign to you an account officer who you can reach out to from time to time. And of course, even with your account officer, I'm always available to also co-work with your account officer at any point in time to make sure that you are well serviced and that your products and services are well dished out effectively.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Is there? Do you have any parting words for us?
Well, what I can tell us now is that I'm sure because of the pandemic, a lot of people are somehow panicking and looking at, should I invest now? But then I can bet you that the best time to actually do it is now. Because if you're looking at sometimes later, the stocks that you're looking at now, the prices of so many of those stocks might have gone up. And also, there are lots of some of these companies that are dishing out their half-year results, and we are
Hmm.
waiting some of their corporate actions, which are dividend actions. Some are already bringing out their dividend result, their results, and they're already telling us they are going to do this also dividend or this, and we are still awaiting some. So I will appeal to whoever that wants to invest now to start, and then delay could be a denier. And also, delay could be dangerous. And the money that you have kept somewhere, you could spend it at any time. That's why sometimes it's, but when you have it in equities and bonds, it's kept. And with Capital Bancorp, you can be sure that your investment is safe. You can go to sleep with us, having your investment with us. It is Nigeria, or you are in Nigeria in diaspora, or anywhere all over the world, we can service you. We can our service offering is all over. We can service you from the comfort of your room from at any point in time. So I would advise you to start investing now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Thank
And of course, I want to state that Capital Bancorp is one of the oldest or maybe the oldest stockbroking firm in Nigeria. Am I correct?
Yes.
Around forever. So that gives us a lot
32
of
years.
comfort that a company that has existed for so long, we should be able to trust them. Am I right?
And sorry, I just want to chip in this, that
Okay.
apart from the stockbroking business,
Okay.
we also have some other arm of our business, which is bank of finance. Of course, I'm sure on this program, at
We've
some
had
point, some
Bode
people
come
have
here.
heard about bank of finance. And of course,
Yes.
we have a bank of bureau de change, wherein you can do your BTA, PTA, you can do all your forex activity with us as well. Of course, you will enjoy our service with that. And our asset management is also coming on board. Very soon, you'll get to hear about it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So you've
You're
heard
welcome, madam.
from Mrs. Opeyemi Ayoola, and I hope we'll remember that having passive or different streams of income is the only way to get rich. You can't get rich on just that business. You can't get rich on just earning an income from your job. And with the pandemic and everybody losing either their jobs or getting pay cuts, it is best that you invest something, even if it's just that 5,000 naira on the federal government bond every month. It will not kill you. So I hope we'll take that advice and run with it. Thank you so much, and
Thank
do
you,
enjoy
madam.
the rest of your day. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, somebody has just asked something. Said, what is your take on mutual fund investments? Uh-oh.
Yes, well, well, mutual fund investment is good. Is also a way of diversifying and not putting your egg in one basket. It's just like a mix. So, but soon, Capital Banker will still come on board with that. It's part of
Okay.
our package under the asset management. So you get to
Oh,
know
okay.
more about us with respect to that. Yes.
Okay. So you are going to do things like ARM does on asset
Yeah, some
management.
things like that. Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Welcome.